Hello everyone, today we're going to theorize about Delatrune Chapter 5. Now, while there's a good chance many details will be wrong, I think the general plot will be correct. The way I think the chapter will work is that it's split into 3 parts. I'll be calling them parts A, B, and C. Without further ado, let's jump into the theory. Starting off with part A, I'm calling this the night world. This is because I think it starts off on the same night as Chapter 4 and we might even see sense for a bit. Now, you may be thinking of the places we can go during the night, and I have an interesting one. Susie's house. You see, Chapters 3 and 4 give us more hints about Susie's home life, and this is the perfect place to find out. Furthermore, if Susie has abusive parents, they would probably be furious at her not coming home yesterday. My theory is that we'll explore Susie's house and would have to avoid her parents. I even think we might have a fight in the Undertale system with them. I think this section would end with Susie finally standing up to her parents and them starting to lighten up a little. Now, for part B, the Dark World. Okay, it's absolutely Flower King with this prophecy message and this text from Jerson. Now, I have a feeling we would see him at church, possibly from us trying to get Jack. Asgore would offer us a lift to his place and we'd find out about the Dark World there. Asgore wouldn't really help us since he's a coward. And I have a feeling Ralsei wouldn't really appear for most of it with Asgore there. I feel he would only come at the end when we finally find out who the knight is. Now, I have an interesting theory on the night, but I'll save it for another time. The night would reveal itself and we'd get an actual night fight. The fight would have Asgore help us because he'd probably be less of a coward by this point. Once we defeat the night, it surrenders, but it has a smirk. Now, for part C, the Light World section, which would be at the festival. There would be many recurring faces such as Birdly and Pizza Pants. We'd also see Susie's parents act a bit nicer there. We might even return to Castletown. After some silly stuff, Noelle would find out Rudy has died and she rushes to the hospital. There we would find the knight there and it would make a fountain at the hospital. We would be able to play as Noelle again and see a darker version of Rudy. Noelle would be more than happy, but we'd eventually have to seal the fountain. Once Noelle realizes Rudy's situation, she'll make a dark fountain, but this one will be bigger in hope to see her dad again. Then, the roaring finally happens and the chapter will end. Now, what would happen on the weird route? Well, there would be some minor differences in the Flower King Dark World, mainly due to Chris not seeming okay. But once we see the Light World, things really start to get messed up. Noelle is under our control and we do awful things with her. There would be quite a huge amount of differences in this section, but the biggest would be at the end when Noelle finds out about Rudy's death and rather than screaming, she wouldn't care. And then the game ends with us being soft-locked and unable to finish the game. So, that was my Delatrune Chapter 5 theory. This didn't actually take too long. Before I finish, please vote on my next theory because I have no idea on what to make next. Also like and subscribe to see my next video and I'll see you next time.